All right, so it's 2023 and you've decided to start your YouTube channel. It may be a New Year's resolution or it may just be something that you want to do to begin the year with. Now, basically what I'm going to do is give you 5+ years of my experience on YouTube to help you minimize a lot of hurdles and pitfalls that I had to go to on my main channel, which is currently sitting at 88,000 subscribers on its way to 100K subs. But I think you can do that a lot quicker than I did if you pay attention to these tips I'm gonna give you in this video. Now, the first thing I wish I did when I first started my channel that I'm gonna tell you to do instantly is build a consistent habit, which means that you have to build the habit of creating content, doing it in a habitual manner to the point to where you can do it consistently back to back. That's the difference, and that comes from actually doing it. And in the beginning, it's hard because you're not getting any fruits of your labor, period. So I want to tell you straight up right now, I mean, it can happen. Literally, maybe if you listen to some of these tips that I'm about to give you in this video and you implement them and you really take them to heart and put in that effort, you can probably get a banger or two in your early starting. But here's the reality. You probably won't see any fruits of your labor in the beginning, and you need to accept that. But building a consistent habit is what's going to allow you to stay consistent habitually and build up into the point to where you do see the fruit of your labor. Now, this next tip I'm going to give you starting the channel in 2023, I didn't have this when I started. So you already starting off with a cheat code beyond what I had, and that's YouTube Shorts. Take advantage of YouTube Shorts. Right now, YouTube is putting an extreme push behind YouTube Shorts. It's becoming monetized February 1st of 2023, I believe. The requirements are high in order to get into that monetization, but here's the reality. YouTube Shorts are getting pushed, and they're going to allow you to reach an audience beyond what you would have on traditional YouTube the way that I had to do it. So use them to your advantage and win, please. So let me be clear about something. Every tip that I'm giving you today, I will be implementing here on this channel, which this isn't a new channel. It's just a channel that I allowed to get dormant. And then I'm going to have a new channel that I will be starting and documenting the journey on. We can go over analytics. So we're going to have multiple case studies to build from and prove proof of concept here on this channel. So, stick along for that journey because you're going to want to be around for it. Here's the next thing that I wish I would have used when I was starting out, and that's extremely useful currently in 2023. And that is reacting or live streaming your way into the conversation. There's a lot of topics that are popping off, a lot of conversational things that are happening in today's world that you can use and leverage in your advantage in the form of content such as reacting to it. You can, do a lot of, hey, posting the video up, you're watching it, you give me a live reaction to it, and it's something that's a, hot topic that's going to bring your channel into that conversation. Or you can live stream. These type of content structures right now are really looking hot on the platform. So you can use them to your ability, do your research, just look. And if you know exactly what I'm talking about, then that means you're probably watching content that's similar to this and you get it. Okay, here's the next tip I'm going to give you. This is very important. Define your target audience as well as your target YouTube category or categories. Decide where you want to land on YouTube, what type of content you want to create, as well as the type of audience you want to build and that you want to target. So this tip right here is going to give you definitive content strategy and a target to aim for every time you flip on the camera. If you know where you're aiming, if you know exactly what type of content you're creating and you know the niche or the audience that you're aligning yourself with, whatever category that is, you can do your research in that category or niche or target audience, and you can know exactly what it is that they're watching at the current moment, what's doing well, and you can target that to help your channel be attached to what's doing well. Notice, I didn't say go and hop on a trend or anything trendy. I'm giving you like actionable actions as to how you do that in a more strategic way, if that makes sense. All right, so the next tip is to know your competition and position yourself to compete. This is extremely important. You need to know who the big dogs, the medium dogs, and the small dogs are in whatever category or niche you choose to attack. You need to position yourself to compete. So you need to see what's going on, what are they doing, and what you're truly up against. Because if you don't know what you're up against and you just put out something that's inadequate to compete against what is the standard or the norm or what is booming, how could you ever expect anyone that expects said status quo in that initiative to even want to deal with or experience or even give their time and energy to whatever it is that you're creating? So you have to be strategic. You have to know your target and you have to hit it. All right, this next tip is a super banger that I wish I would have started implementing in the beginning. And I'm gonna give it to you up front. And that is to know your title and your thumbnail before you even hit record. Now, listen, if you know your target audience, you know your target, your category, and all of that, then you should be planning and sculpting your content ahead of time, meaning you know what type of video you're going to make, how you're going to create it. So in that sense, you should be able to create the thumbnail in your mind at least, or even fully create it before even hitting record. I'm not saying you have to physically go into Photoshop and have a thumbnail ready and so forth. You should definitely have a title written down, or at least like a top 3 titles suggestion for yourself. So that way you know exactly where to aim. And also you can satisfy the title. And then if you have an idea of your thumbnail while you're creating the content, then you can be strategic about capturing that thumbnail during the content creation or in post-production or pre-production, whatever is necessary. But if you have a solid plan and you know exactly the direction that you're going into, then you can hit your target. All right, here's another great killer tip. You can bump your YouTube reach by using outside platforms and outside sources such as TikTok and Instagram Reels, and most of all, YouTube Shorts. Short form content is booming right now. Everyone has a short attention span. It's easy to get roped into watching a bunch of short form contents. And if you can position yourself to be the short form content that they're binge watching, then you can get your YouTube long form content to be suggested. Because right now, currently, the algorithm is being adjusted to combine and create like a working pattern to allow YouTube Shorts and YouTube long form content to work in harmony. And that's beautiful for you. But you can also use like TikTok and IG Reels to let people know like, hey, I'm over here on YouTube, and send that audience onto your YouTube platform to help you grow and dominate in your niche. And yes, I use the word dominate. I mean, hey man, I get competitive. So hopefully you will too. Okay, my next tip is crucial. You need to dig deep into your YouTube analytics and learn how to read them. Learn how to understand your analytics to give you strategies to position yourself to win content release after content release. If you understand your analytics, YouTube has given you so many tools in their analytic section. Like there's no reason for you not to dig in there, because it gets deep. It can be very advanced and it can be intimidating, which is why you need to spend time and develop your skill of reading your analytics and understanding them, because they will help you better position your content and allow it to have a far better chance of seeing success if you study your analytics. So early in your YouTube career, every time you drop a video, go dig in there and see what you can discover and find. It. Trust me, put in the work, put in the effort, and figure it out. It's going to help you tremendously in the future. All right, here's another tip that I want to give you early in your content YouTube creation career. Consider like a podcast-like format. Hello. You know, sitting down, having discussionary topics that you can clip and create YouTube Shorts and IG Reels and TikToks out of, and go and blast out to the platforms like I told you in the earlier tip, and get people to be like, oh, wow. Like, you know, if you drop in jewels, those jewels can become clips that go out into the world and bring people into what it is that you're creating. So I would say, you know, podcasts aren't a bad look right now in 2023. Everybody's always going to say, oh, it's oversaturated, blah, blah, blah. But if you're good, the saturation does not matter, which is why I'm trying to give you tips on how to become good early so that, you know, the amount of people in competition with you just won't matter. The better you become as a creator, which we're going to discuss tips and tools on how to like really like live in yourself on camera and things like that, the better you have a chance of just dominating. Yes, that word is back. All right, you guys, I'm going to give you one last final bonus tip, and that is that gear does matter. You're going to see people, oh, gear doesn't matter. You can just use this cheap this cheap that. No, it matters. But here's the reality. I want to be realistic. I'm not telling you go buy no extreme cinema setup and all that, because you don't even know how to work that. The real advice is to be very strategic in what you invest in. Like right now, I've set up to where I could create this content easily for me. And I'm not even using my high-end camera. I'm using like this perfect sweet spot camera, which is the Canon M6. It'll shoot 4K. It does high quality. It's an APS-C camera and it has interchangeable lenses. So I could get different looks in different applications. But when I want to go out and vlog, it's small enough to be low key and it's capable enough of giving me high quality video footage on the go. And that's like the ideal middle point. Now, everyone's going to tell you, start off with your phone. And if that's where you have to start, then start there. But be very conscious and understand and learn how to get the best footage out of your smartphone. Like right here, I have ND filters that I just got in. Yo, I'm going to drop a video probably about these or speak about this in a little bit coming up. Man, that train is just honking his horn crazy. But like ND filters that help you bring out better quality because it's going to block the light and block the auto features and auto ISO adjust, as well as applications like Filmic Pro and so forth. But here's my thing with like using your smartphone. I'm gonna be real. The best camera's on the back. What's the problem with that? There's no screen here for you to monitor and see yourself. Like when I use a camera with a flip out screen like I'm using now, I can see my framing. I can see what I'm setting up and I can see any issues that happen. Like if I put something in frame like this, I can see if it's in focus and I can, make that adjustment on the fly without having to like be thrown off, or have a production that once I get to post-production to the editing process, I see that it's just out of whack. So gear does matter, but it's about finding that sweet spot, the ideal pieces of gear that you invest in strategically that'll make sense for your content creation. And I'm gonna help you do that. I love gear and I've tried a ton of options, fortunately for you, so that I can help you figure out like what's the ideal gear package for yourself. Videos coming soon on that. You already know, man. You want to hit subscribe if you want to learn. This is Create a Hustle. And literally, what are you doing? Either creating or hustling.